What's going on, my dear Kumquats? Welcome back to another video, and today we've got the ninjas here on deck. Now, of course, the ninjas were released in the base game with the other 7 base factions. And shout out to Robert for giving me the suggestion for the ninjas. Now, the ninjas are a standard faction, having 4 level 2s, 3 level 3s, 2 level 4s, and 1 level 5. The level 2 ninja accolade says on your turn, if you have not yet played a minion, you may return this minion to your hand and play an extra minion on this base. Now, the level 3 shinobi is really interesting. It has a special ability that says before a base scores, you may play this minion there, and you can only use one shinobi's ability per base. The shinobi is a really cool card. The level 4 tiger assassin says you may destroy a minion of power 3 or less on this base, and the level 5 ninja master says you may destroy a minion on this base. No prerequisites, just you may destroy a minion on this base. Moving on to the actions, you have 2 copies of Seeing Stars, which simply say destroy a minion of power 3 or less. You have 2 copies of Infiltrate, which say destroy an action that has been played on a base, and you may ignore that base's ability until the start of your next turn. You have 1 copy of Poison, which says play on a minion and destroy any number of actions on it, and then ongoing, this minion has -4 power. And of course, minions have a minimum power of 0. There's 1 copy of Disguise, which says choose 1 or 2 of your minions on one base, play an equal number of extra minions there, and return the chosen minions to your hand. You have 1 copy of Assassination, which says play on a minion, ongoing, destroy this minion at the end of the turn. You have 1 copy of Way of Deception, move 1 of your minions to another base. 1 copy of Smoke Bomb, play on 1 of your minions, ongoing, this minion is not affected by other players' actions, and destroy this card at the start of your turn. Then you have 1 copy of Hidden Ninja, which is basically the same ability as the Shinobi, which reads, special, before a base scores, you can play a minion there. So as I've been alluding to, the strengths of the ninjas is simply being able to sneak in for easy points. You have 3 shinobi that'll let you do this, as well as 1 copy of Hidden Ninja, effectively giving you 4 options to sneak onto bases before they score. Now, of course, you can only play 1 shinobi per base, however, you can do a really huge swing turn with 1 shinobi and a Hidden Ninja at the same base. And even more so, the ninjas have a lot of destruction at their disposal. By just taking a look at the king minion, you're able to destroy any minion on the base. You have 2 tiger assassins that let you destroy a minion of power 3 or less, and then you also have your 2 copies of Seeing Stars and 1 copy of Assassination. So again, a lot of destruction. Now, the ninjas don't really have too much of a weakness, however, they don't have any card draw like previous factions we've talked about. So getting to your important cards like the shinobi could prove to be an issue. Now, this is kind of a cop-out weakness, since every single faction can kind of have this weakness if your opponent knows what cards are in your faction. However, an opponent can really track down what cards you have left. Basically how many shinobis you have left, destruction cards, etc. And honestly, that's kind of it. The ninjas are pretty solid all around. So we already talked about how the ninjas have pretty good destruction capabilities, but what about adding even more destruction and maybe a little bit of movement? Adding the pirates gives you 3 copies of Saucy Wench, which lets you destroy a minion of power 2 or less on the base. 2 copies of Broadside, which lets you destroy all of one player's minions of power 2 or less on a base where you have a minion. And then of course the cannon, which lets you destroy up to 2 minions of power 2 or less. And of course the pirates have great movement cards, such as the dinghy that lets you move up to 2 of your minions to other bases. With the extra movement that the pirates give the ninjas, you can essentially have some pretty big swing turns with your ninja acolytes. Moving on to the next faction that I think is great with the ninjas is in fact the sharks. Now, we know that the sharks are great at destroying minions and buffing their own power, so how about adding the ninjas to destroy even more minions and buffing their power even more? Seems pretty great to me. With all the destruction that the ninjas provide, getting your 4 Makos out will be a complete breeze. And then another faction that didn't actually occur to me until I saw it get pointed out by the community was the Mega Troopers. The Mega Troopers really make the shinobi shine even brighter. The Pink Trooper says after the base scores, return of your minions here of power 3 or less to your hand instead of the discard pile. So, having an extra shinobi for another base score seems really solid. The Black Trooper says ongoing, after a special ability is used, this minion gets +1 power until the end of your turn. So ideally, whenever you play your shinobi, this buffs the Black Trooper. And then notably, probably the best one is the Green Trooper, which is essentially another shinobi. Says before a base scores, you may play this minion there as an extra minion. So the ultimate combo is Shinobi, Green Trooper, and then Hidden Ninja. And as always, we look to the community to see what they think the greatest pairings are for a given faction. As previously discussed, the Mega Troopers were the highest voted faction for the ninjas, coming in at 13 votes. Second place was the Sharks, which we did talk about, which is 7 votes. Third place is the Super Spies, coming in at 5 votes. Fourth place is the Fairies at 2 votes, and then going down the line, we've got the Pirates, Dragons, Samurai, Time Travelers, Disco Dancers, the Grannies, and the Wizards, all coming in at 1 vote apiece. So the ninjas are pretty good at pairing with almost everything. However, what I found was pairing them with the killer plants are not that good. The killer plant strategy is getting your level 3s out, but you don't want to waste those on your shinobis. So yeah, the ninjas are pretty versatile. So the favorable matchups for the ninjas are just about anything that thrives off lower powered minions, such as the robots, the giant ants, Innsmouth, and the killer plants. And as far as unfavorable matchups go for the ninjas, they don't have that many. Now kaiju can become an issue for the ninjas because the ninjas have more of an emphasis on destroying minions. Yes, they have 2 copies of Infiltrate that let you destroy actions that have been played on a base, which that's what kaiju's all about. However, that's only 2 copies. So yeah, kaiju can hold its own pretty well against the ninjas. Now I hate to admit it, but the zombies are probably the best counter for the ninjas. The ninjas can destroy minions, sure, but the zombies are just gonna keep coming right back. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the ninjas. Thank you for sticking around and sticking with the channel. If you haven't done so, please smash that subscribe button and leave us a like down below. And if you didn't vote in the Facebook group, make sure you leave a comment down below what you think the best faction pairings are for the ninjas. And the next video is going to be on the tricksters, so if you're not in the Smash Posting Facebook group, go ahead and go join and vote for what you think the best pairings are for the tricksters. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one. Peace!